All right. Well, I'm a little bit surprised by this one. I'm not gonna lie. And it's weird because first off, I love Jameson Williams. I think he's a great player, and the Lions could use like a true number one receiver, and it's not as big of a deal for him if he is banged up to start the year, still working on his ACL injury. He's walking fine, so I guess that's good news. Again, I know that's not exactly how that works, but I think that's something that I guess here's my initial shock is if the Lions just had the 12th overall pick, I think this would be a fine move. I'm surprised they traded up and gave up kind of more picks when they have plenty of holes to go out and get Jameson Williams. Again, I like the guy, and the Lions got two of my favorite players in this draft class. I had Williams as my number one wide receiver, 10th overall prospect. A little bit confused about the trade up, but let's just focus on the player itself first, because I love this player. So let's get into the film, what I like about him so much, and then we'll kind of talk about the team building strategy at the end here. Let's start off with a play like this. I want to just show off Jameson Williams' explosiveness. That's really what just jumps out at you. It's just how explosive he is. And obviously, that's a big thing that can help you in the NFL. And this is the type of play that you want to see guys be able to do in college because you'll ask them to do this in the NFL level. This is kind of what separates those true number one receivers from the guys who aren't, is can you win on the outside consistently? And while Williams is actually not, the plus receivers, as in the guy closest to the sideline, he is the number two receiver on this play. He's going to essentially, serve that number one role of he is going to be the one running towards the sideline, trying to get deep. There's only a single safety deep, so hopefully he can get open on that side of the field. And right when this play begins, you're going to notice that, watch him just blow by the Georgia corner who is going to be covering him. I mean, he gets that separation, and you better believe NFL quarterbacks are certainly going to be able to hit you if you're getting this kind of separation, especially down the field. That's really how you can, think about it. You'd much rather a guy like this who can get open in these situations and potentially pick up 60-yard touchdowns than someone who might be getting open 7 yards down the field, just because there's more value. Not to say there isn't value in the underneath stuff, but there's more value in being able to, basically get a one-play touchdown. Now, the ball didn't get thrown towards Williams, but again, if you've watched any of my other film studies about wide receivers, I don't really care that much about is the quarterback throwing to you. I care about are you getting open consistently, because that's what matters. Moving on to a play like this. So I'm going to be honest, him getting open on this play isn't really that impressive. It's kind of more of a product of just the scheme and just how things broke, where he's going to get into a gap in coverage kind of in that middle section of the field against Georgia. Like, look, right when this play begins, it's not even like his route was that incredible. It seemed like it was just, schemed up well. You get Jameson Williams to be wide open. Okay, cool. Like, listen, like this stuff happens. It's not like a negative. You'd rather him be able to get wide open than not get wide open. But how much stock do I take into that? Not so much. That's not really why I'm bringing up this play. The reason I'm bringing up this play is because what do you think will happen in this spot? Like, your natural instinct tells you, okay, he should be able to get another 10, 20 yards here for sure. But watch just, again, explosiveness. Watch what he can do. As you see, he's going to turn on the afterburner and just run by everybody. And this is the Georgia defense. This isn't some scrub defense. This is a great defense, but he just can run by them. So, again, yards after the catch, always a bit fluky in the college level. How much will that work at the NFL level? To me, I think his moves will work at the NFL level. I think that pure explosion and breakaway speed will work at the NFL level. Also, something like this, so you see where he is on the field. He is going to be, the guy who has circled in yellow. That's where he is. And this play isn't going to be like some incredible play by him at the start as well. This is kind of, again, similar to that last play. The beginning part, not incredible. Look, again, he did his job, right? He ran the route properly. He got to the spot where he was supposed to get to and made the catch, even though it wasn't a perfect throw. Like, all that stuff, okay, that still matters. Maybe it isn't the biggest deal in the world, but, guys who do that, he would rather have someone who can get open like that than someone who can't. He got open, but okay, whatever. Not the biggest deal. That's not why you get super hyped up over a wide receiver. But why you do get super hyped up about a wide receiver is what he's going to do after that. Again, watch him just make this move and then watch this pure explosion in being able to pick. I keep using that word, explosion, because that's what he is. He is explosive. He's pretty shifty as well. I don't know if he's the most shifty guy in this class, but he's definitely the most explosive guy in this class, in my opinion, and he's still pretty shifty. So that combination is deadly. I'm not going to do the Tyreek Hill comparison because every fast, shifty guy gets compared to him, but you can kind of see that a little bit of like that's what makes Tyreek Hill so deadly. Now, I don't think Williams is as fast fast, or Shifty as Hill, but he's still really good at both. And finally, something like this. This reminded me of there was an Odell Beckham Jr. play when he was with the Browns against William Jackson of the Bengals, and this play just reminded me exactly of that one, where you see how far that defensive back is playing off of Williams. So if a defensive back is playing that far off, it's going to be really hard to run a deep route. But that's what Williams is supposed to do on this play, run a deep route. So how do you go about doing it? What can you do to get yourself open? Well, what is a way to beat this coverage, other than a deep route? If you're running a different route, what would be a great one to beat it? Probably a slant route, right? If you ran over the middle, the defensive back's playing too far off, and then you can get open. So the defensive back knows that and is ready to crash in if that's what Williams is doing. And so because of that, watch Williams fake a little bit, which freezes the defensive back. So then when he starts up again, he is explosive enough to get past him, get into the end zone for a touchdown. Just an incredible play from Jameson Williams. And these are skills that will translate at the next level, I believe. Listen, I always say there's no such thing as a can't miss wide receiver. There's been plenty of wide receivers that just seem awesome and then for whatever reason end up not that awesome. Like, that happens. So you never know. But his tape was fantastic. There are some injury concerns and that stuff, but the tape itself is awesome. And I think his tape this past year is the best of any wide receiver that we've seen coming out of this draft. I really do. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on this. And again, like I said, Jameson Williams should be awesome for this Lions team that could really use a wide receiver. They have some guys who I think are fine role players in the receiving core, but you don't win Super Bowls with guys who are okay role players. You need not just good wide receivers, you need great wide receivers. And to me, Williams has the highest potential out of any of the wide receivers in this draft class. His potential is, we just saw like what Jalen Waddle did last year. They're similar players, and I think that I could see something very similar happen with someone like Jameson Williams. So the player itself, I love. I don't know if the Lions should be doing this, though. I just don't know if they should be trading up so much and giving up so much draft capital to go out and get a wide receiver here. I get it. You wanted to get Williams. You probably loved him. And I guess what I'll say is, if this hits, it's still worth it. Like, if this hits, like, it's worth that capital. And I think I remember, there was talks about maybe the Vikings trading back when they got Randy Moss, and their thought was, well, no, we want Randy Moss. Like, I don't care about the other guy. Like, sure, I could have two players, and maybe that's more value in the Johnson scale, but at the end of the day, this is the player we want, and that worked out well. If Williams is Randy Moss, this is a good move for them. Or even if he's just, a really good wide receiver, this is a good move for them. So that's kind of why things get interesting. So we got a lot of trades here coming in. Like the move from the Vikings perspective of trading back, if any Vikings fans are watching this far. But again, love the player. I think this will be an awesome fit for them whenever it happens. So that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you agree with me about the player? Do you agree with me about the trade? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.